Hi everyone, today we're going to go ahead and do a review for the quiz. This right here is the quiz that you're going to be asked to complete on Friday. This is question 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to go ahead for the review and switch some of the questions up. So when you guys complete this and you print this off, please make sure that you complete the questions that I go ahead and write down. So for question 1 on your quiz, you're going to have to write y equals 3 cosine 2x plus 4, okay? Just a reminder that this right here, the number out in front is your amplitude. That's the height. This right here is your frequency. You're going to have 2. And this plus 4 is your vertical shift 4 units up. So my amplitude here is going to be 3, the frequency 2. The period is going to, remember the period is 360 divided by your frequency. So I have 360 divided by 2, which is 180. And the midline, this right here will give you your midline. So my midline is y is equal to 4. Okay, so I just want to point out, if you were to graph this, your amplitude will be at 3 and then you would move that up. That would obviously bring that to a point of 7. The amplitude is still 3 because that's the height of this, but this shifted everything up 4 units. Okay, right here, we're going to change this to negative cosine 3/4 x minus 5. Okay, this is going to be your question that you're going to have on your quiz, but this is the one that we're going to be redoing for the review. So you guys can see right here, this negative is not the amplitude. It's whatever number's out in front right here. This is your reflection. So your amplitude is going to be 1, okay? Your frequency, that's going to be 3/4. Okay, your period is going to be 360 divided by 3/4. And your midline, y is equal to negative 5. And put that into your calculator to see what that is equal to when you guys go ahead and do this. All right, now I'm going to ask you to go ahead and graph these two functions. So you're going to be doing that same thing here. You're going to be graphing. So we have y is equal to cosine 2x. I'm going to change this for the review. Y is equal to 2 cosine 2x. Okay, so we know my amplitude and my frequency, which is b. My amplitude is going to be 2. My frequency, I need 2 from 0 to 360. That means for my period, I'm going to have 360 divided by 2, which is equal to 180. You're going to have one cycle from 0 to 180, and then your other one from 180 to 360. Okay? Now, you guys can go ahead and make sure that I want every point labeled when you guys are doing this. Some of you guys are just doing like this, and you're thinking, okay, that's good. It looks like but you need 5 distinct points labeled when you guys are graphing these, okay? And where are they located? So we're gonna do the tick marks, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going from 90, 180, 270, 360. And we are going to have to go to an amplitude of 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, that's going to be 2, 1, 2, negative 2. Okay, for cosine, remember we start at the amplitude and we're going to end at the amplitude. Again, I need to see these points distinctively labeled. A lot of you guys are just like squiggling things. I'm like, it looks like it, but the 5 points are not labeled. So this one, from 0 to 180, We're going to start at the amplitude, end at the amplitude. Those 2 points need to be labeled. Now, you're going to have to go midway, halfway, and it goes down to 0. Then at 90, I want to see a point -2 at 90. And halfway between 90 and 180, which is 135, you would have that point labeled here. So you need 0, 2. At 45, you would be at 0, 90, -2, at 135 back to 0. And again, you can throw that into your calculator and get your points that you need to label, okay? I want to see these points plotted. When some of you guys are drawing this on paper, if that's fine by me, but I want to see this 90 and this 45 point labeled here. At 90 down, I need to see these 5 points. I want to see this labeled, I want to see this labeled here, and I also want to see these 5 points labeled at the correct spot. Now, you're going from 180 to 360. You're going to start at 2, you're going to end at 2. Okay, halfway between, you're going to go down to 0, -2, back to 0. Okay, now, I just want to point out, this is your quiz question right here. The only difference between your quiz question and the question that we just did is the amplitude. Here we went to 2. This, your amplitude is going to start at 1. Okay, but you're still going to need these 2 distinct cycles right here. Okay, and make sure that you have curved like. A lot of you guys are going ahead and I'm seeing V. Okay, I don't want to see this either. This is a no, and I also want to see these points plotted. Okay, and the last question that you're going to have to complete on your quiz right here is going to be y is equal to -3 sine x plus 2. We'll change this to y is equal to -2 sine x plus 1. Okay, so we know my amplitude here is going to be 2. My frequency, I only need 1. So that means my period is going to be 360 divided by 1, which is 360. So you're going to have one cycle from 0 to 360 for sine. You also want to note that we have this negative. That negative means that it is reflected. Okay? So again, we're going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I need to see these labeled 90, 180, 270, and 360. We're going to be going to an amplitude of 2, so 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you guys have to be careful because in this case, you're going to be moving everything up 2 points. Here we're only going to be moving everything up 1. So just be careful that you leave enough space and when you guys go ahead and do this. So 1, 2, 1, 2, this is -2. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and graph y is equal to -2 sine x. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to shift everything up 1 unit. Now, some of you guys may naturally just go ahead and shift everything up 1 unit, and I'm fine with that. So we're going to sine, we start at 0, we end at 0. So we start at 0, we end at 0. For sine, midway, we're back to 0. Okay, we're going to be going down because it's negative. And we're going to go down to -2, up to 0, to 2, and we can go ahead and graph that there. Again, I want to see these particular points plotted, okay? If you guys shift it automatic 1 up, you can do that too, but I still want to see these points all plotted, these 5. A lot of you guys are just doing like and stuff like that, so you guys have to make sure that these are plotted and it's plotted correctly. So now I'm going to go ahead and shift this up 1 unit. So I'm going to go ahead and shift this up 1 unit. Now remember, when we're shifting up, I counted by 2s. So this is 0, this is 1. So just make sure you move everything up 2 spots. Okay, so I'm going to move this up 1. I'm going to move this up 1. I'm going to move this up 1. I'm going to move this up. And this is your shift up 1 unit. Make sure you label y is equal to -2 sine x plus 1. This is y is equal to -2 sine x. Okay? All right. So the only difference between the review and the quiz question is here you're going to go down to 3. Okay? And once you do that, you're going to shift up. Instead of shifting up 1, you're going to shift everything up 2 units. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please make sure that you ask. Have a wonderful day.